You may have seen clips of large groups of white South African families getting off of planes in the USA and being greeted at customs, and lots of whooping and hollering and lots of very happy smiley faces, and wondered what the hell's going on. Well, the USA has granted asylum, sanctuary, whatever you want to call it, to quite a lot of South African families that have basically fled South Africa because they feel that they've been driven off of their land. So, for a number of years now, mostly white South African Boer farmers, many of whom have held the land for hundreds of years, have been getting attacked on their farms and on their lands. Attacked, murdered, savagely attacked with knives, shot, raped, burnt, etc., etc. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds have been killed over the last 10, 20 years. But it's got worse. And laws have been passed relatively recently in South Africa, which to some extent allow the acquisition of land, which is probably just going to drive this even further. And so many families have just given up. They're up sticks and they're leaving. So you're seeing mums, dads, kids, larger extended families just fleeing South Africa. We've had a fair few come to the UK, but the USA has gone one step further and has actually effectively granted them permission to come. Normally, to go and live in the USA, it's a long, long, drawn out process. Green card needs to be applied for, etc. But they've dispensed with that and just allowed these people in. And this is being driven by South African ANC style politicians who are continually on stage and off denouncing these farmers, denouncing them as not being the true owners of this land. The reality is that Cape farmers and Cape Boers, primarily from Holland, who are Dutch, arrived in South Africa in around about the 1650s, 1660s, I believe it was. So that's a very, very long time ago. Many of the actual inhabitants of South Africa who are black were tribes that came from other parts of Africa and other parts of South Africa later than some of the Boers did. So to say that it's not their land is a little bit of a stretch. How far back do you go to say that it's not their land? Are they the indigenous inhabitants of that land? Well, no, because they're Dutch, but they have been there 350 years. Many white Brits followed in the late 1600s and early 1700s, so they also have been there 300 to 350 years. So how far back do we go with this it's not their land story or narrative? It's a very difficult situation. It's a lot more complex than it's made out to be. And I read some statistics that the farms that are owned by white families in South Africa, whether they're Dutch descendants or British descendants or any other country that it might be, produce in excess of 90% of the food and agricultural produce produced in South Africa. And so if they're all driven off of their land, what's going to happen to food production, agricultural production in South Africa? Of course that land will be taken over, and some of it will be taken over by other people that are perfectly capable of running it, that have been working on those farms anyway, and you won't see a massive drop off. But lots of the land will also be taken over by people that are not capable of doing that. So is it going to create massive issues in the food production capability of South Africa? South Africa is currently the richest country probably in Africa, but a lot of that is dependent on its industries, including agriculture, being run in the right way. If you take away some of the people that are capable of doing that, or some of the people that do that, what does that leave you with? It's going to be an interesting situation. Personally speaking, I think we should be doing the same thing. If people are being killed, threatened, raped, burnt off of their land, and they are descended from us anyway, then why not offer them sanctuary here? It's an interesting question, particularly given what's going on around immigration at the moment. Let me know your thoughts. I'm sure this will stir up a load of shit, and I'm sure I'll get a load of shit about saying this. But it's going on, it's happening. These people are getting off planes in America as we speak. It's on the news. Go and take a look and let me know what your thoughts are.